Everyone, we're continuing Hachseg's learning of the Pele Yoetz, day number 22. And we are in the chapter of Zivug of marriage and marriage partners. And we mentioned on Friday that the Pele Yoetz goes into great detail exactly about how the union of a husband and a wife in intimate relation should look, and we are not going to read the words and discuss them inside. We gave a brief overview last time, and he continues along the lines today. So once again, I'm not going to read the words inside. I leave that up to you. It is recommended reading. It's very important ideas that he expresses over here. But once again, it's not for our public forum that we are learning about. And again, without going into too much detail over here, the Pele Yoetz does encourage people to elevate the physical acts that they are involved with to bring ruchnius, spirituality, and kedusha and holiness and sanctity into them. And that is, he says, the ways of the Jewish people. Really, it's not only here, but in all areas of life. We are constantly striving for more ruchnius in our lives, even though that we are human beings and we have a lot of physical desires and physical needs and bodily needs. For example, eating and drinking and the like. Nevertheless, we don't eat and drink just for the sake of the eating and the drinking. We do it to elevate ourselves and bring ourselves eventually closer to Hashem, because it sustains us and provides us with what we need, and therefore we have the koyach to be able to go and to serve Hashem. And so too in these inyanim as well, a person to the best of their abilities. You'll see the Pele Yoetz brings down many Kabbalistic ideas over here, which are most likely beyond the scope of all of us, very distant from where any of us are really holding. And if it's something that piques your curiosity and your interest, please go and find your local Orthodox rabbi that you can speak to and ask if it's really something that you should be taking upon yourself for you and your wife, or it's something to keep on the back burner for years to come, when perhaps you reach those levels of Kiddush, of holiness, where maybe it is warranted to do such things. But in the meantime, the Pele Yoetz is sharing with us that a person could take things that are very physical and things that are very much based on desires and the like, and they could infuse tremendous kavanas, tremendous ideas and intentions of kedusha that just brings everything up. And he speaks a lot about tefillah. Prayer is very important as well. Prayer is important before the relations and even after the relations, in order that we should be zeich to have beautiful children as a result, Im Yetz Hashem. And as we pointed out in the last shir, if Chalila, a person doesn't have only the cookie cutter in the box, perfect child in there sitting at the Shabbos table, and there are children in your family that are struggling and that are perhaps distant from Yiddishkeit and that are not on the derech that we thought that they're going to be on. So please do not take too much guilt. Do not take any guilt upon yourself, and do not think that you did things wrong in the realm of Shalom Bayis, the way that the Pele Yoetz is describing it. As we mentioned, there's just too many winds that are in this world today, and there are pressures and peer pressures, and there is just the tumah is everywhere that you go. We used to have a Rebbitzin who said the following. We're going back, this story goes back, I believe, over 20 years ago. And we were living in Baltimore, which is a pretty posheta town compared to Los Angeles, where I live right now. And they opened up a Target, which was like a chiddush in Baltimore, Target right near where the yeshiva was. And the Rebbitzin said that she went to Target and she saw what's going on over there. She decided she's not going to bring her children into Target. She felt that the Gashmias and the Tuma and the people that were there was just too much of a negative impact and influence on her children. She decided, I'm not taking my children to Target. I don't want them to be exposed to the Tuma. And then she added, and even though that I safeguard them, and even though that I am so careful not to take them to these places, Nevertheless, the tumor just seems to seep in through the bottom of the front door. You know, there's a little space and a little gap on everybody's front door. It just seems to seep in through there and enter into our house. There is no escape, she said, and therefore she was encouraging all of us to be careful in the things that we expose our children to, because at the end of the day, you cannot fight off the onslaught of the immorality and the improperness and the impurities that are here in this world. Says the Pele Yoetz, be mispalo daven. Daven for the best for your children, and daven for the best for your zivug, daven for the best for your marriage and the like. And we do our best. We put in our efforts and our work. And Be'ez Hashem, in that zechus, in Yetz Hashem, like we mentioned last time, the marriage will be something that is fortified with happiness and peace and warmth and love and respect. And Be'ez Hashem, it will have a great hashpah, a tremendous impact on our children. And we will watch them go in the darchei Torah, in the ways of Torah, in the ways of mitzvahs, in the way of avodas Hashem. That will be nachas ruach to us as the parents, but even more importantly, it will be a nachas ruach to the Ribbono Shel Olam. All the best.